So we got an article.
Yeah, I was just about to pull it back up.
Let's chit chat. So how I was introduced to this article, I did an interview the other day on the phone. It was a very, very short interview. And I knew it was NJ.com, but I didn't know when it was coming out or anything. Pretty dumb about that kind of stuff. Anyway, the neighbor, our boy Tom, drove by yesterday. He's like, I saw the article.
Oh, no way.
I was like, no way, it came out. He's like, you couldn't pay for that kind of press. I was like, dude, Tom, you're a god. I gotta go look at this thing.
Wait, that's so funny because it's like NJ.com and like you could definitely pay for that kind of press.
But so I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm not going to read it until the podcast. So here we are. That's what we did it.
Yeah. So on the title is NJ's top novelty surfer just pulled off another wild feat.
I did see the title.
He's planning more. He's sasser.
It feels good to be number one, you know?
Who's number one?
I am the top novelty surfer.
Is that what it says?
Ooh. Finally number one at something.
But it only says NJ's.
Yeah, but there's only one novelty surfer in NJ.
I mean... Beg to differ.
Categorically,
yeah.
Who would be in the if you were to say who was the top novelty surfers? There's not even
I think it's you and Mason.
that does it full time.
Mason, Jamie,
full time.
Dylan Graves, Rob Kelly, Burton Hathaway.
Now Blair Conklin surfing some novelty.
Yeah, but don't you have to be riding just a not serious board all the time? No, you can't ride a normal short board and be a novelty surfer.
I don't know.
Oh, I never thought about it like that. Ben,
I don't know.
I think Ben rides his wave band, A, because he loves them, B, because they're his signature boards, and C, because he doesn't have really any hardboards. But you would. It has nothing to do with, like...
I'm going to say this. I think people are tripping on surfboards. They need to go back to the drawing board. This is across the board. Mm-hmm. And just try some soft tops because it's going to make you a better surfer in the end. Because you know how it is. Yeah. If you learn how to wing a soft top around, you can turn any board properly. Yeah. Sorry, Jordan. Continue.
What will Ben Gravy think of next? He surfed all 50 states, a journey documented in the surf film For the Dream, currently on Red Bull TV. Earlier this summer, the Ventnor resident rode a wave in every New Jersey beach town. There's a link to it, I guess.
They're blowing up my local.
Let's see what it's...
In brackets, the gnarliest day of my life.
Is that what you said, Bob?
I think so.
He would have.
Okay.
Every day is the gnarliest day of my life. How many views did that get?
That got... 43,000.
Wow.
But that article, like, let's just go back. Barstool did we ever talk about how Barstool Kate did a freaking whole write-up about Ben surfing every beach town?
For some reason, that hit for people.
Oh my God, I love Barstool, and everyone knows that watches the podcast, I love Barstool. And I'm putting in the universe one day that I'll work for Barstool. But Barstool Kate did a whole thing on it, so it was really cool. So then it says, and to celebrate the end of summer season on September 21st, Gravy pulled off an epic one-day feat. He surfed both U.S. coast and Hawaii in just under 24 hours. Dang. So how do you feel about that?
This guy's propping.
What?
He's propping me up.
Yeah, benefited by by the time zone changes, he surfed Atlantic City at 2 a.m. with fellow surfer extraordinaire. Woo! That's a big word. Ocean City's Rob Kelly. Under the glow of the city's casino and Ferris wheel.
Surfer extraordinaire.
I know, that's like a weird way to explain someone that surfs.
I would like to know the definition of extraordinaire.
You should just send that. You're now a surfer extraordinaire to Rob. Then he flew to California and paddled into El Porto in Manhattan Beach at 12 noon. Then flew to Honolulu, where fellow surfer and internet vlogger Jamie O'Brien got him to the legendary pipeline break on the North Shore of Oahu with an hour of sunlight to spare.
Couldn't have ended it any better.
Really? I know, because it wasn't supposed to be there, and it just worked out.
Yeah, we rolled up, and Jamie pulled up, and there was no boards in the back of his car, and I thought we were surfing Honolulu or like Waikiki, and I was like, dude, you did not do this to me. Like, we're not going to make it. And he was like, just go down. We're going to mess it.
And there was so much traffic. Like, so much traffic going. It's just like Honolulu traffic to the North Shore. It was like an extra 30 minutes. Sorry. And I was like, is Ben freaking out? And he really wasn't freaking out.
We made it.
Yeah, we were going to make it no matter what. And if you surfed a little bit at dark, it wasn't like...
So it was the last day of summer and you're trying to nail...
So, yeah, the premise was squeezing every last drop out of summer. Summer ended 9 p.m. that night. so we literally rode it into the sunset.
Yep.
So like the Farmer's Almanac, the summer doesn't actually end like at midnight on a day. It's always a different time, and it was like 9 something p.m. that night.
Yeah.
So we just took it right to the. So I mean, I guess technically we could have kept going around the world, but we did a reasonable amount, and we just squeezed.
Well, like where could you have gone? Because with like how long it takes.
If you kept going west, you could do it. Because like we were talking about yesterday, when he flies back to Australia,
he'll
leave on the 14th and he'll get home on the 16th, but it will only be 20 hours of flight, and he'll lose like 50 hours of time.
But you gain them coming here, like you got those days back, and then when you go there, you lose it.
Like he left on the 2nd or 3rd, whatever it was, and he got
4th and got in on the 4th,
and he got here on the 4th, but he was flying for 24 hours.
Yeah.
So it's October 12th there. Wow. That's so wild.
We're in the future.
Isn't that weird? Okay. Then it said, he did it. Gravy said in the blog post to squeeze every single drop of stoke out of the last day of summer.
Yes, ma'am.
Why approach surfing like this?
Now, ma'am.
Now, ma'am. With lists and Herculean ideas and chasing swells in the wakes of the Cape May Lewis Ferry or oil tankers in South Carolina, to just name a few, which he features on his 160,000 subscriber. I can't read this. The answer is a little bit Jersey and a lot of gravy. That's a nice one.
Dude, that was legit.
That's sick. There's just something about these challenges that I enjoy and my viewers enjoy. New Jersey-based surfers usually have to be a bit creative to make a living out of the sport, and gravy certainly symbolizes that ethos. How do you feel about that?
I feel great about that, actually. I think this guy is capturing a lot of reality.
He's a good writer.
He's a really good writer.
Especially for like, we always say like news articles and like websites and stuff, they dumb everything down.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But that's good.
There's
not
more.
done yet, I know, but I'm saying, how do you feel about that? Like, I feel like that's really true. Like, New Jersey surfers have to be a bit creative, because like how do you make a living here?
I'd say more than a bit, it's impossible to make a living as a New Jersey surfer.
Yeah.
But why do you think so many people do? Like, do you think it's like when they're young, like everyone's like, oh, you're such a good surfer, you're definitely going to go pro? Or it's like, what is it? Or why isn't it that companies do put, like, they have some marketing dollars for the East Coast, but they really don't put much in, even though East Coast is like the best coast?
No, it's weird because if you think about it, probably New York to Virginia Beach is probably one of the biggest income. It's one of the biggest regions sales-wise for every surf brand almost. Mm-hmm. And they have some of the smallest budgets. I think if you're a big surf brand, when I was a kid, it's probably more nowadays. But I remember the East Coast budget, the budget for the entire East Coast was about $30,000-$40,000. So they tried to get as many pros under that 40 grand as they could. Mm-hmm. If they could get 8 surfers out of that 40K, they would. And they're selling $40 million worth of stuff and only giving $40,000 back to this area, which is crazy.
Yeah. All right, can you drink?
Stop hating on me.
Well, your voice is.
Well, it's your fault.
He always leaves everything on me.
You notice he gives way longer answers to these guys than you.
Yeah, right? Look at this. Well, Florida, California. What the hell? While Florida, California, Hawaii remain the hotspots for professional surfers, Gravy sees the Garden State as a fertile ground to spread his unique style, which has become known in the surf world as novelty surfing, chasing waves that are unique, odd, small, or thought to be unsurfable, and sometimes big and dangerous. Wait, Todd, do you... Slippery, whatever, I don't know. What do you like to go by on, like, the camera?
Slipknot.
Okay.
Slippery.
All right, Slippery. So is
Can't
there
believe you
like...
just said my real name. Can you edit that out for me?
Is that bad?
Mingo.
I got so many nicknames.
Is it weird? Like, is it
Shreddy.
Something that people do in Australia now? Like novelty surfing? Or has it always been something?
I don't know anyone that does it in Australia, because there's so many proper waves that like they haven't been able to get that creative to go, all right, I'm going to go do something different. Everyone just goes to the same beach. So
really?
It's the same waves. The good waves are super crowded, but there's like Ben would come there and just see how much there is.
But there's probably so many unsurfed novelty waves,
for
right?
Sure. 100%.
Yeah.
And they're just like I have to wait for a nor'easter. Those guys are they're getting
It's
swell all 365 days a year. I
So
could
you
probably
just don't.
Yeah.
Is there ever flat?
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
not.
But that's what it comes back to, like they said about New Jersey, you guys have to become creative to kind of make a living out of it. Like he's had to.
Yeah, he's
He
had to.
hasn't
You don't
got
have to do that
at
in
his
Australia.
doorstep every day when they do, so they haven't even had to think outside of the box. But also they've made their lives harder because they're just doing what everyone else does and competing with the same people, same spots. I mean, you could get creative and break out of that
What's the
to stand out, because otherwise
Yeah.
you are just going to be another number, aren't you?
100%.
Like